Hey, my name is Dax Hammer, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you my very simple, very streamlined, but yet very consistent with results approach to gain staging and getting the first initial balance of my mix before I add any processing using one simple plugin. And the way that I achieve this is by using a process called normalization. So this is usually used for the purpose of bringing your audio file up to the maximum ceiling without any compression or limiting. But instead of setting the ceiling to 0 dB full scale, I'm setting it to -18. And what this ensures me is that none of the files in my session are even remotely near clipping, so I can add lots of processing without concern that I'm gonna need to be constantly checking the meters and observing levels while trying to mix, which could be a distraction for my creativity. Now, I will state that it is important to do that, but it's better when it's intentional. I'll talk about that in a bit. And for this process, I do like to keep the original waveform intact, so I use a simple yet powerful plugin by Hornet called the Normalizer. And it's simple because it does one thing, which is normalize. And it's powerful because it handles the main thing that builds the foundation of my mix, which is setting levels. And if you have any experience mixing, I'm sure that you know what it's like to open up a new session and all the levels are all over the place. You press play and the master is clipping, and you have to do all of this work to get the levels in check so you can get a basic mix without all of the meters clipping. Well, setting each track to -18 or whatever level you think is best is a surefire way to get everything in check and audible so you can begin getting the balance right between all the instruments in the mix. Nothing clipping, everything playing back at a healthy level. You can hear everything. Now you can balance and make small adjustments with the faders or any kind of trim plugin if you'd like to keep your faders at unity. So the first plugin on my insert on every single track is the Normalizer. And this is how the plugin works. So I have a session here with every instance of the plugin set to -18. And when I press play, you're gonna see all the levels in green, nothing clipping, and everything audible. Now, obviously things could be balanced differently and of course processed in a way that would bring the levels up in a mix. This -18 ceiling is not a limiter set at that level. It's just a starting point which will absolutely not remain the same once I start adding plugins and actually mixing. This is only for the beginning stage of balancing and getting my levels right to ensure that the next stage is met without unnecessary clipping and having to pull down faders and compensate too much level hitting your mix bus processing. And as I mentioned before about controlling the level with intention, I believe it's still necessary to be mindful of the level variation due to processing because we can easily be fooled into thinking that something is better just because it's louder. So after I normalize, I'll add, let's say, an EQ. And I'm on the kick track here, and I don't know, let's play it and I'll boost up what I feel is necessary. And then I'll bypass and engage to make sure that I'm not being fooled by the level increase from the EQ. Or if you press this A here in the Pro Q3, it's auto gain and it compensates for the level increase or the level decrease when EQing. So the point of this video, which is supposed to be simple, is to create healthy levels for the sake of getting a good initial mix balance and to ensure that you're not clipping plugins or the mix bus in the process. The second takeaway is to make sure that you A/B the processing you're adding to ensure that you're not being fooled into thinking what you just did sounds better just because it's louder. And once you get those two methods in place, now you have a lot of headroom to mix without the concern of clipping. Now, this is what works for me. This is my template, my workflow, but even that changes every now and again. But regardless, this has been a great way for me to accomplish consistently healthy levels and a good initial mix balance. And I believe that this normalization process can do the same exact thing for you. And if you want to try it, then definitely check out the Normalizer plugin by Hornet. I provided a direct link for it in the description below. And if this video brought you any value, please consider leaving a like, commenting, sharing it, and also comment and let me know what are some of your methods for gain staging and what helps you out the best. And also, if you've tried this method, I'd love to know if it's helped you out and made things a little bit easier and more streamlined to get a good mix balance. So with all that being said, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Until next time, my name is Dax Hammer. May God bless you. Peace.